All right, everybody. I think you're all in. Welcome. I'm Aaron Cole again. This is my presentation on why your web page is loading so slowly. But first of all, just a little bit of housekeeping. If you have any questions, I am totally fine if you want to jump in and unmute yourself and post a question. Also, I see people are still coming in. Jean-Francois will let you in as you're coming in. Jean-Francois is our moderator. Thank you very much. So if you want to just unmute yourself and ask a question, I'm totally okay with that. If you'd rather just post a question to the chat room, Jean-Francois will be monitoring that, and he'll ask me those questions. So let's give a few more minutes. Looks like people are still coming in. I know some of you, but not all of you. I realize I should probably have this up here so I'm actually looking at you. I've read so many articles the last few days about how to use Zoom properly. Okay.
What have you learned so far?
Well, so we posted a cool, that sounds like Jatian. Is that you, Jatian?
Yep.
Yep.
Sorry, I muted.
That's okay. We posted a video for presenters. Somebody at MidCamp created it last week, and one of the things he talked about was putting all the windows that you're looking at directly underneath the camera, so that you're actually like looking at the camera. It's kind of hard to keep up, but that was one of the things. Okay, looks like people have joined. Doesn't seem like there's anybody waiting, so I will get started. In case you didn't see the opening remarks, I'm Aaron Cole. I run web services at the Stanford School of Earth, Energy, and Environmental Sciences. We like to call it Stanford Earth for short. We're one of the 7 schools at Stanford, and we are a Drupal house. Doesn't really matter. That's what we particularly use to run our websites. And we did a redesign about, I think it's like 3 years ago now, from Drupal 7 to Drupal 8, which in Drupal world is a huge deal. It's a huge deal to go from one major version to another. Hopefully that's going to get better. But this was a 7 to 8 migration. We're the School of Earth. We do a lot of, well, our students do a lot of field work out in the field. So when we did our discovery phase, went out and talked to users and talked to our site owners and administrators and trying to figure out what made us different from other schools on campus. Fieldwork was kind of like the differentiator. And so we thought, oh, great, we have beautiful imagery from out in the field. We can post a lot of that. We send students around the world. It's going to be awesome. So we started developing, I want to say in June of, 3 years ago. 2017, is that? Anyways, and we were chugging right along. We brought in the developers, and they were just firing on all cylinders. And we had a development environment. And I remember sort of casually mentioning to the site owner, these images are huge. Like, the site might be kind of slow. And she's like, what do you mean? And I was like, well, we have great internet connection here on campus, but the world doesn't have that. And she said, well, the primary audience for the initial launch is probably just going to be people on the campus. I was like, all right. And so then I kind of put it out of my head, and I was really excited. The developers would let us know the new version was up on the dev site, and we'd all launch it. It would look beautiful. And then, God, I would say in the final month, she dropped in a very innocent question, whether or not we could have a video hero. And we all thought, oh, that'd be cool. And one of our developers said, sure, and he spun it up, and that was that. And we were going to launch the site, and I believe it was like October, November. And that's where my presentation begins, because I was at a conference in Boston, the Acquia Engage conference. And I was in a hotel, a very nice hotel, with very bad Wi-Fi. So that's kind of where this presentation starts. So launch day on the hotel Wi-Fi. I got a Slack message that we were live. I was very excited. I launched the website, and watched it load like it was 1999. I don't know how many of you on here were on the web in 1999, but that's what it was like. Super, super, super slow. And then I remember that conversation I had about large images, and I remember thinking about, I wonder how badly that a YouTube embed is going to affect our website. But we were live. There was no going back. So I realized at some point here I'm going to have to start improving the site's web performance. And so it took a while because there was other priorities, but about a year ago, I don't know if John's in here, at WebCamp last year, a friend of mine on campus, John Bekar, had a presentation, and he made some comment about the site performance, the page load speed of our website. And I was like, oh, I have to start this project. And so I started deep diving into what web page performance is, how you test it, what affects it. Kind of a little bit of background on myself. I used to be a front-end web developer. And when I was web developing, I remember knowing that we should probably reduce the amount of requests we have on our website and reduce the image sizes. But I think the cutting edge at the time was what was called spriting images, taking all the little graphics on your website and turning them into like one big image, and then using CSS background to move it around. That was kind of like the height of web performance. I do remember going to a presentation and realizing halfway in the presentation, they were talking in terms of milliseconds. And I was like, oh, okay, this is a big deal. Anyways, here I'm back at Earth. I didn't tell you my website. It's earth.stanford.edu if you want to go check it out. So I was like, all right, I need to figure out how to make this site load faster. So the first thing I needed to understand was terminology. A lot of terms people use in web conferences and in books and in articles, and we all assume we all know what they are. But I thought it might be good to kind of go back to the basics in this presentation, just in case, just make sure everybody's on the same path as me. Also, there's some assumptions I have. I could be wrong. I'm not really a network engineer, so feel free to scream at me in the chat window if you'd like. But the first and biggest thing to understand if you are thinking about your website performance is the idea of requests. I know this is very basic, but if you don't understand that, I have this little graphic here I grabbed. When you type a URL like www.earth.stanford.edu into your browser, it sends a request out to a domain name server, which figures out where your website is hosted. And then it starts making requests for things. The first thing it requests, once it knows the URL, is index.html, which is the first HTML page every site has. And then within that HTML page might request style sheets. A little loud there. Can everybody mute themselves, please? All right, let's see if we can find that person.
I think it's the person on the iPhone with the Japanese name.
Oh yeah, here. Okay, I will mute them. Thank you. Thank you, Jatian. So yeah, once you request a website, it starts your browser starts making requests. For instance, index.html might request some JavaScript, some style sheets, and then eventually it starts requesting the images on your page, as well as any other JavaScript you may have added to the bottom of your page. So that's what a request is. Back in the day, when I was doing front-end web development, browsers can only make 2 requests at a time. From the best of my Googling, it's now usually around 6, if not more. But you really had to think then, what you were requesting to get your website to load. So that's requests. The other one, and this is where I might just be making this up. I might think I know what I'm talking about, but this idea of bandwidth. You always hear about it, but bandwidth, was explained to me a long time ago as kind of like a hose. And the wider your hose, the more bandwidth you have. God, I hope that's true. But it's this idea that people on slow connections, it takes a lot longer for them to get these requests back and forth in order to get your page to render. And that the more bandwidth you have, the wider the highway, to use a really old term. But that is something, especially for us here on Stanford campus, where we're super lucky to have super fast connections. You need to understand that actually most of your visitors are probably on 3G or probably 4G nowadays. They're not on high-speed internet. So you really do need to think about that. So you can't just look at your website when you're sitting in your office on campus or at home right now, and you see that it loads really fast. So what do you got to do? You have to test. You have to test your website, and just loading it in your browser is not really useful for the reason just mentioned. And also, like most things, you kind of want to set a baseline before you start your web performance project. You want to know, like, how fast was my website before I did anything? So you want to do some testing. So I kind of dug in and Googled around, and one of the first places I found was Webpage Test. And just open that actually, webpagetest.org. It kind of, to me, looks like a 5K running t-shirt you get with all the sponsors on it. But yeah, it's a free website, and you basically just enter your website URL. Might as well just show you our dirty laundry. And then you just run a test. It takes a little bit. It's not pretty, but from what I can tell, this is the end-all to be-all of web performance. I've also realized there's a whole career in web performance. So this is something you could really go deep in on. The Webpage Test is a great place to test your website and set a baseline. Looks like it's pretty popular right now. One thing I did learn about webpagetest.org is the result is a permanent URL. So every time you run this, I would suggest bookmarking or saving that URL somewhere in your documentation. So yeah, it creates 3 tests. This is a little bit slower than it has been. Anyways, this URL up on the top, that is a permanent URL. So I would recommend, just for your own sake, to save these URLs so that when you've gone deep, you can go back in time and see, how slow your site used to be. So here on Webpage Test, it talks about things like load time, first byte, start render, first contentful paint, speed index, etc. I've learned that these are kind of like, there's wars out there on what's more important and what you should focus on. It's kind of like the Mac PC battle of days. But no matter what you think is important, it's good to at least get a baseline and see how you're doing. So you'll notice for Earth, our homepage is pretty slow. I'm not gonna lie. It says here 6.137 seconds. I think we started at like 9 seconds when I started my project, so that's not too bad. Okay, let's go back. So another tool that I have found super useful, it's called Lighthouse. It's built by the people, the Google developers that make the Chrome dev tools. So it only works in Chrome, but here I'll load it. I think this is actually just the, yeah. Actually, Jennifer, so if you want to maybe add this link to the chat, or I can do that. Hold on. Yeah. This is a great place to go deep, and I'm not kidding deep. I mean, you could spend days and days and days learning about Lighthouse. But this is a great tool to do testing from within your browser. And I might as well just show you. Here, let's go to a better with format at least. Webcamp.stanford.edu. Like most dev tools, if you right-click on a site and press inspect, I'm assuming you can all see this, and if you can't, please let me know.
Yes, we can.
Thank you. It opens up DevTools on the bottom here, and if you click on these tools, oh, here it is, I'm sorry, it's up here, Audits. Press on Audits. This is Lighthouse. This will generate a performance report on your website. It can also do testing on accessibility, search and optimization, best practices. I personally just leave it on performance, and I set my device to mobile. And the reason is that's probably the slowest experience. Also, you used to be able to set the bandwidth in this, but they've recently switched that, so it just automates to, I believe, 4G. And I'm sure they'll change that in the future. But here, I'm going to generate a report. And you see up in this top screen, oh, it says Lighthouse is warming up. There we go. So it loads the page as it would on mobile, and it gives you a score. It's 65. Believe it or not, that's not too bad. Oh, forgot about that. It's a good thing to tell you. When you're running Lighthouse, run this in an incognito or a private browser. The reason is all of these browser plugins that I have up here in my Chrome, they interfere with Lighthouse. So if you run this in a private browser or incognito browser. You can do either in Firefox or in Chrome. But let's just pretend this was, and my site was really slow. It gives you numbers. First, contentful paint, speed index, time to interactive. Time to interactive seems to be a big number of people obsessed with. That's when, especially if there's a lot of JavaScript on your page, that's how long it takes for a user to wait until they can interact with your web page. They can fill out a form, they can filter, something like that. But here's what I wanted to show you, this opportunities. These are what Lighthouse thinks that you should focus on to speed up your website, and gives you an estimate savings if you actually do that. So properly size your images, and then it'll show you, these are two images it found on the site, how big they are and how little they could be if you optimized them. And that's pretty much mostly what I'm going to talk about in this presentation is images, but you can go deeper than that. CSS and how much. This brings up an excellent point. Performance is in terms of milliseconds, and what's the expression? Diminishing returns. You kind of get a little crazy about it. You get a little obsessive. So you need to ask yourself, is it really worth the dev hours to cut off 0.3 seconds from my page load? If it is, go for it. But it is something you want to think about. And then below are just diagnostics that I usually ignore. So that is Chrome, or that is Lighthouse. I highly recommend it. It's in the Chrome Dev Tools. All that. How much time do I have? All right, I should speed up. Okay, that was my live demo. How did that go? Was that good? That was good, right? Yeah, the Firefox network panel also has a monitor. So you can check that out. And I already mentioned you really need to test with slow connections. It's pointless to test on your super fast connection at work. All right, so once you've accepted that your site is really slow, and once you've learned how to test it and set a baseline, now I wanted to show you some solutions that I have found and share those with you. So let's see the first. All right, so server caching. This isn't really something that you can do as a site owner, like say you're responsible for the website content, or even if you're a front-end web developer. This is something that you talk to the people that manage your web server. Server caching. Caching, just in case, another term that we assume everybody understands. It's just basically keeping a copy of everything so that when somebody hits your web page, they don't have to request all those images right away from the server. So it just makes loading the page super fast. So making sure that your server has caching turned on is step number one. Most hosts do, so that shouldn't be an issue, but it's just something to remember. Save for web legacy. Okay, so I think I mentioned before, 9 times out of 10, the problem on your site is images. Your images are huge, and you need to optimize them. That will get you, 3/4 of the way there. And it's really what I've personally been focusing on our website at Earth. And one of the things I wanted to say was, so when I tell my web authors, you need to optimize your images, they obviously ask, well, how? And the one way I know of, and here at Stanford, we do have the ability to get a highly discounted user license for Adobe products, including Adobe Photoshop. Adobe Photoshop has a feature called Save for Web. It's under File, Export, Save for Web. And what that does is takes whatever image you gave it and optimizes it. So you may not know that's still available, but it is. And I recommend using it. Yeah, that's all I'll say about that. But optimizing your images is super important. Somebody that knows how to use Photoshop, it's easy. I still am trying to figure out how to make that easy for my web authors, but we'll get there. By the way, it's very weird talking to myself, so just putting that out there. So as far as solutions, one of the solutions, it's not really a solution that works as far as Lightroom, because it's not actually improving the actual performance of your site. But one of the things I learned about was JPEGs. So JPEGs we all use and love, and they're everywhere. What I didn't know is there's types of JPEGs. The default type of JPEG is called a baseline JPEG, and the way it works is here in this little screen here, is it loads one line at a time of the image. So if you're on a super slow internet connection, or you've gone back in a time machine to the late 90s, you're just going to sit there and watch all of your JPEGs load one line at a time. The solution in this case is to convert your JPEGs to a progressive JPEG. And what that does is initially loads a super low res version of your image, and then slowly pops it in. As far as a piece of software like Lighthouse is concerned, it's still slow. But a human perceives that there's an image on the page and doesn't perceive slowness. At least that's what I've been told. So that's one of the things I did was on our website, we use Drupal, but we have a module that will take any JPEG that somebody uploads and convert it into a progressive JPEG. And if that's something you're interested in doing, feel free to reach out to me. I'd be happy to share more on that. I do see a question here from Olia Gary, my SDLP cohort alum. Are there tools to mimic slow connections? So yeah, definitely. I would use Chrome Lighthouse in Chrome DevTools. It does it automatically. I don't know of any other tools because that's what I've been using. And thank you for the question. Another solution is called lazy loading, and we just implemented it on Earth about a month ago, and it really does seem to help. Lazy loading is a technique in which only the images that you see on the page are actually loaded into the browser. Any images that come below the fold, I'm full of old terms today, the fold of the page don't actually start loading until the user has scrolled down. And this little image I found kind of shows this. So if you look over here on the right, this is a Dev Tools window that shows all of the images on the page. And you'll see, as you start scrolling, they start popping in. And so that means a person coming to your website doesn't have to wait for every image on the site to load before they can actually interact with your website. So this is something we implemented about a month or two ago at Earth, and it's great. We used a module called lazyload and another one called Blazy, B-L-A-Z-Y, be lazy, kind of funny. It took a lot to understand it and to configure it, but it really worked quite well. I personally actually have a personal site on WordPress, and there's a lot of plugins in WordPress to do lazy loading, and the ones I found were free, so you might as well just do that. It's really quite helpful to speed up a website. It's one of the quickest things you can do besides optimizing your images. What time is this session over, Jean-Francois?
10:45.
Okay, cool.
11:45, sorry.
Thank you. So those are the solutions I've picked up. I also have some ideas, but I'll get to those in a minute. I want to talk about some landmines. So as I had my tools to understand why my site was loading slowly, I ran into some things that I wanted to share, some understandings that were not correct on my part. So I just wanted to share because I've been doing this 20 years, but there's some things I thought I knew that I actually did not. This is not one of them, but this is something that it's easy to forget. So when you're setting up your website as a site builder, at least in Drupal, and I'm sure in WordPress as well, and probably Adobe Experience Manager that's also used on campus, you want to limit the file size that web editors are allowed to upload. We have some fields, even to this day, that have no file restrictions. And so I will just be kind of perusing around our website to happen to notice a page loading super slow. And I inspect and find out that that featured image is actually 25 megabytes. That's a good point. So actually, what is a big image? I would say a big image is anything over a megabyte. Am I saying that right? Yeah, a megabyte, maybe 2 megabytes. So yeah, 10 megabytes, 15 megabytes, 20 megabytes, that's ridiculous. You should be able to get your image below a megabyte, if not half a megabyte. So yeah, when you're building your beautiful website, think about your authoring experience, because your authors are just going to go out and find an image on a stock website, download it, and upload the biggest one they can get. So if you let them do that, they're going to do it, and your site's going to load slow. So think about, if you can, restricting the file size that you permit to be uploaded. I know Stanford sites on their D7 platform limits it to 5 megabytes. I think that's pretty liberal. I might even just bring that down to 2. But the other landmine, lazy loading, at least the way we have it implemented, only works on actual images. An actual image that if you went at the HTML was like !img. On our website, a little time, let's do a little show and tell. Okay, so this is our website. This image right here is actually a background image. It's done in CSS. This is a background image. We call this paragraph type postcard. These are all background images. These, however, are actual images, and they lazy load onto the site. These do not. So background images is something you want to think about. Also, it was landmine as far as file size. We don't restrict the file size of an image that gets uploaded here. But I have learned since I wrote this presentation that there is a way to lazy load background images. So that's one of the things on my to-do list, is to do that. It has to do with the markup, I believe. Okay, here's a big one. It's kind of embarrassing, but I will admit it here in the safety of 31 participants. When PNGs, or at least when I first became aware of PNGs, I learned two things. One of them was apparently wrong. The first thing was that JPEGs are a proprietary format. Technically, someone could tell you to take down all your JPEGs. I don't think that'll ever happen, but PNGs are not proprietary. The other thing about PNGs is they can do transparency, which JPEGs cannot. And another thing about JPEGs, which is not true, but I thought it was true, is that they were more performant than JPEGs. What I have found through my testing is almost always a JPEG will be much more performant than a PNG. Something to keep in mind. I have debated whether or not to not even permit uploading PNGs, but I've been convinced by my authors to just put in a file size limit. I don't know if you're like me and you thought PNGs were performant, but if you were, guess what? Not really. Whoa, this is a big one. Oh, I probably should have shared this with you. So also somewhere, I thought I read that an animated GIF was a better alternative to uploading video to a website. I think the reality was if it was a really short video, and it didn't have a lot of animation. Being a science website, we have a lot of animated GIFs that we upload just to give examples of processes. And I remember telling my content editors to go ahead and upload an animated GIF. And now when I run reports on my website, I find animated GIFs that are 25 megabytes big. So that's kind of crazy. Unfortunately, I don't have, a solution on our stack yet to replace those. But what I've learned is a better alternative is to convert that animated GIF into an MP4. So an MP4 is a video format. It happens to be widely supported finally on all browsers, as far as I know. If you're going down that route, I would check caniuse.com. It's caniuse. Yeah, this is a great place to go to if you just want to see if a feature is supported in your browser. So I think if I put in MP4, yeah, MP4s are widely supported now. If you have to support IE 6.8, I feel very sorry for you, but we do not, thank God. So MP4s are a great way to replace animated GIFs. We just don't have an ability in our website yet to allow web authors to upload our MP4s. All right, landmines. Oh, we'll get to that. JavaScript. So JavaScript is something that our marketing departments, well, they don't know it's JavaScript, but there's a lot of services that our marketing departments want us to use. I mean, Google Analytics, obviously, we probably all use, but there's things like Hotjar to track how users are using our website. There's lots of little add-ons you can add onto your website. It's really easy to do it, and all you have to do is add this little tag to your website, and what that does is pull in all the functionality. Olio just asked me, where's that URL where you checked support? And here I will type it into the chat window, but it's caniuse.com. Caniuse.com. There we go. Oh, thank you, Jean-Francois. I think I just fast forwarded a bunch. Anyways, yeah, JavaScript. So all I would say here is really think about it when you're asked to add yet another service onto your website, because that's just something, that's yet another request that has to be loaded before a visitor to your site can interact with your website. There are things you can do to make JavaScript load faster, definitely. It's just something to think about. I think we loaded, I can't even tell you how many JavaScript little doodads on our site at first. And you can speed up the site a bit by removing those. So YouTube versus video. This is just a thought in my head. We haven't implemented this, but if you'll see, here, let me switch back to Earth. We had these super awesome YouTube video embeds on almost every Of course, I just picked one that doesn't, but we have them everywhere. So these are YouTube embeds. And I have a question, and I haven't really had time to dig too deeply into this. Would my page load faster if it was an MP4 and not a YouTube embed? Another problem is our YouTube embeds we set to autoplay, which is not ideal. So before a person can interact with our page, they have to wait for the YouTube video to play. I've done a little bit of testing, and yes, the page would load faster if we did not have autoplay turned on. So I think one solution might be, I would have to talk to one of our developers. If we can maybe like not set autoplay and write a little script that did set it to play once everything else was done loading, that might be a solution. But I did notice there are some websites, one of them, and they went to this site a while ago. They have, yeah, this is actually an MP4 that's loading on their page. And if you run performance testing on it, it's really fast. So that's just something to think about. I haven't checked that box off yet on our website, but I did want to share. Yeah, Sharon Carosa just wanted to share specifically with Drupal sites. The module is called image styles, and image styles is a module that will take whatever image the author uploads and create multiple optimized versions of that in different shapes or different sizes, can optimize the image. It's a great tool. So if you're using Drupal, image styles is the way to do that. I don't know what it would be for WordPress, but I'm sure there's something. I have a module on my WordPress site that just optimizes images. I don't have much control over it, but all right, back to my presentation. In the near future, okay, so these are things that I've read about that might be on the way, and some are close. One of them is a new image format called WebM. I believe it was developed by Chrome. And it's just it optimizes images better out of the box than even JPEG. And according to Can I Use, it is supported in all major browsers except IE 11. So if IE 11 is something you need to support, that's something to consider. There are ways in HTML to serve up different image types, and that's beyond the scope of this presentation. But it's be using the picture element in HTML. So if that's something, if you need to support IE 11, which honestly I haven't checked our browsers lately, I don't know if we do, then you might talk to your developer about using WebM because file sizes are much smaller, much smaller. The other is this thing called native lazy load. So the way we got lazy loading running on our website was through a module, and what that module does is loads a JavaScript library. And like I said, JavaScript has a cost. Native lazy load works directly in the browser. It currently only works in Chrome 76, and it's coming to Firefox. But all you would do is add an attribute to the image tag called loading, and you can send it the value of auto, lazy, or eager. I should have put a link to the MDM page on that. Anyways, that's coming pretty quick. I think that's something we should all keep our eyes on. And once it does become available, we can drop the JavaScript libraries that we're using to lazy load and just let the browser take care of it for us. And that really is the ideal situation. And that's it. It's definitely a journey. You're never going to be finished doing performance improvements, but it's well worth your users' time. I know our site is not an e-commerce website, but they do talk about the rate of abandonment after 2 seconds is huge. So sites like Amazon, Google, they hire entire teams to do nothing but page performance. So it's a great thing to get into, and I actually do enjoy it. So thank you very much. And I think we have like 5 more minutes. So if you have any questions, feel free to unmute yourself. I'll also look at the chat. Oh, thank you. John Green just added a link to the documentation for lazy loading in the chat window. Thank you, John Green. Jack Tien is our Stanford Online Accessibility. She leads the online accessibility program at Stanford. About autoplay, the video on Earth has video controls to pause the video. Police does not. That's a great point. For accessibility, you always want to have a pause. You want to allow the user to pause your video. To be accessible, controls need to be provided for any animation more than 3 seconds. Thank you so much. Anything else here in the chat that I'm seeing? Dre Sullivan says Kraken.io in the chat he's used for throttling. Oh, Jean-Francois has found a tool called tinyjpeg, tinyjpg.com to reduce image sizes. So if you are a web author and you would prefer not to get into Photoshop, that might be a great way to do it. Thank you, Andre. All right. Yeah, I'm available online, so if you want to email me questions, my work email is aaronc@stanford.edu. I'd be happy to help you out. Okay. Well, I will stay here and answer any questions. Thank you so much.